Chat. Welcome everyone. We'll let everyone filter in. Thank you so much for joining us. We're looking forward to hosting our second information session. Lots of people coming in. This is great. Happy Wednesday. Lots of snow. I'll be so excited when International Women's Week is here. It is one of the most exciting things I think we do all year, and certainly all winter. As Katie will attest, we were just saying what a motivating, wonderful factor this is in our world.
Absolutely.
Good morning, Jared. Welcome. I see the chat already getting kickstarted, which is great. We'll give everyone 2 minutes and then we're going to jump in. Lots of exciting news to share with our community about preparations for International Women's Week. We thank you for joining us. Welcome, Julia. There's Ottawa's top mom pitch contestant with us today. We are all going to be rooting for her and cheering her on in mid-March as she takes on 4 of the other founders and mom entrepreneurs across Canada. We know that she is going to rock it. All right, we'll give everyone 1 more minute. We're at 28 participants. And of course, we're recording today's session. We know there's lots of news coming out in many places. Our mayor's hosting the State of the Union address today. The Prime Minister sharing some important information about the pandemic and travel. It's a very busy news and information update day here in the capital and across our beautiful country. All right. We're 28 participants. To be respectful of time, we are going to jump right in and join all of you. Thanking you very, very much for being with us to share in updates about one of the most impactful initiatives I think our community undertakes every year, International Women's Week. Bonjour tout le monde. This is our second information session, and I am going to introduce my fearless co-pilots for this special initiative, Katie Leclerc, our Manager of Corporate Communications, and Jessica Ward, our event producer, who is working behind the scenes. Katie is going to advance the slides and she is going to join me in sharing some of the fantastic updates that we have prepared for you today. So Katie, let's jump right in. We thought it would be valuable just to do a recap of our high-level agenda. We're going to cover off all of the objectives, target outcomes, and impact in a really concise way as we have some new faces and stakeholders who are joining us today. We're very thrilled to welcome you. We're going to provide an overview of the International Women's Week updates on the events that are currently underway across our community. This is not an exhaustive list. This is just what we have been apprised of and some of the exciting developments we have received, but we look forward to adding many more to the calendar as we get it launched. And Katie is going to share your International Women's Week resources and all of the community support that is available to you. I could not be more thrilled and more blown away by the work that she and our corporate communications team have done for our community. So that is a big, exciting development. And then chatting about next steps, how we'll work together to bring the calendar to life and to get our events rolling so that that first week of March is really powerful and impactful for women and our community at large. Next slide, Katie. Just a little bit of background and introduction for those who are new. Of course, we all celebrate with the world on March 8th, International Women's Day, where we elevate women economically, socially, culturally, and politically, and we celebrate all of those achievements. Here in the capital, we thought, my goodness, why would we choose to focus on a single day? Why wouldn't we create an entire integrated week of events that allows us to come together as a community, not just regionally, but across the country and around the globe, to really celebrate and drive our progress on these important goals. And that was the creation, really, and the driver for International Women's Week. It is a driver for change. It is not simply a collection of events, campaigns, and initiatives. It's a critical mass movement that is really helping to move the dial on so many shared goals where women in leadership across every professional sphere are concerned. And we do come together with members across all of Ottawa, Gatineau, the province, Canada, and increasingly worldwide to contribute to, participate in, and benefit from those series of events and initiatives. Next slide, please. So when we look at our vision for International Women's Week, it is really to create a critical mass of successful women leaders from every single walk of life that make a significant impact on our economy and society. We know that in this particular year, the pandemic has had a detrimental impact on women. Strategic and collaborative action is needed now more than ever. And we really here in the Capitol, together with all of you, are so excited to help lead the country and the world on this front. Together, we are calling on all regions and all nations to join us and create an integrated, powerful wave of global action to move the dial. Next slide, please. When we look at our objectives, certainly here in our region, we really want to establish Ottawa as an internationally recognized region with a critical mass of top women identifying leaders who achieve that impact we just described. And together as a community from March 1st to 9th, and really it's trickling into days that are subsequent to that, which is fantastic because the entire purpose of this initiative is to drive that critical mass of ongoing change. It's not about a set time period. We want to really motivate and make this our mode of operandi, that we're looking at this all year long. We shine a spotlight on it during International Women's Week. And our core focus is to inspire, empower, and equip women in professional fields. That's all professional fields. Here at Invest Ottawa, we're passionate about inspiring women in tech, entrepreneurship, investment, industry, but it's so much broader than that. It's government, academia, research, media, nonprofit, science. Every field where professional women are shining and making that impact, we want to bring that power to bear through this week and throughout the year. So we leverage and harness the power of our collective resources, initiatives, and talents to create that critical mass and build a foundation here in Ottawa that we think stretches right across the country and increasingly around the world for broader collaboration on these shared goals. Next slide, please. Target outcomes and impact. We really want to drive tangible action and opportunities that are measurable for women in leaderships. We want to make sure that we're seeing that benefit and impact for both aspiring and current women leaders. It's as important to help grow the next generation of women leaders as it is to continue empowering and equipping those who are driving us forward today. And demonstrating action from new and existing champions and allies. This is truly about women and men coming together to create a unified force and driver for change. That's what it will take to truly move the dial and drive measurable change and outcomes and impact that I know we are all seeking. And that's why we all come together during International Women's Week. Next slide, please. Collaboration drives success. Goodness, last year we had 65 partners that hosted, I think, more than 40 events during International Women's Week 2020. We are now in a virtual world to make sure that we keep our community safe and healthy and do everything we can to follow the important protocols established by all of our health leaders. We are gearing up for an incredible week with, I'm going to say at a minimum, dozens of partners and lots of new partners, which is what's really exciting to us at Invest Ottawa, to host a series of events that we know will attract and empower hundreds of women and other leaders across our community. So thank you. This is a big thank you to all of you who join us and the many others who will watch this recording that are collaborating with us on these shared goals. Next slide, please. Initial events and dates. So this is where it gets really exciting because this is where the pedal is to the metal and the rubber is hitting the road, so to speak. We have been apprised and engaging with many members of our community on what the calendar might look like over the course of that week. Many people had expressed an interest in us helping to guide and offer suggestions on dates that weren't overly subscribed to really maximize the attendance and the impact they achieved. We're trying to do that, but not wanting to be prescriptive. So please keep this in mind. And these are just highlights of the dates and the events we've received so far. We are really excited to be working with the Institute of Corporate Directors currently on what would be one of the launch events, Women Leading the World Through the Pandemic. And this is really women health authorities. So chief health officers, both in this country, across the country, and hopefully perhaps at the World Health Organization as well. We're feeling hopeful that Dr. Theresa Tam will join us for a keynote. We're working hard on that. Her schedule is, of course, very taxed. She is managing so many important priorities and guiding our country through the most difficult time we've seen this century. So that is something we are pursuing, but it will focus on governance. And that we know is a very key area that we share many objectives around moving the dial, engaging more women and equipping more women with lessons learned. And there is no playbook during this pandemic period. We're excited to bring together, we hope, some of the world's leading authorities on how they are governing, both transparently, collaboratively, and with true integrity through the pandemic. Of course, we are very excited at Invest Ottawa to host the F Factor event, enabling and accelerating women founders and women-owned firms. That will be in collaboration, we hope, with our friends at LSpark and MDK Business Law. Very excited because the pandemic has had such a tremendous detrimental impact on women founders. We know there are a series of challenges, and we're looking forward to bringing forward to you some of the leading local, Canadian, and global founders who are really helping to make their mark and to shining a light on opportunities, leadership, resilience, and what it takes to really drive forward during this pandemic. And we are thrilled to welcome Syntax, who will be driving forward on Women Leading in Media, a daily noontime International Women's Week event series with some of the most incredible voices and role models in media, tracking their journey, their challenges, their successes, and what we can all take as lessons learned from what is a very, very difficult and challenging industry, and one of the ones that is certainly experiencing massive and momentous change, also playing a critical role during this pandemic. So a huge shout out to Jen Stewart, my good friend Jen Stewart, and Jennifer Madigan, who are really leading this together. We're privileged to be a part of that. On Tuesday, March 2nd, we are bringing back Women Angel Investor Breakfast and Workshop, championed and hosted by the Capital Angel Network, together with Invest Ottawa. We invite everyone who has potential women within their network who could join us as angel investors. There will be an incredible training and education element to this event, as we always do, what I'm calling a Women Angel 101 investing workshop module hosted by Jennifer Francis, chair of the Capital Angel Network, and bringing together a panel with some of the voices, aspiring angel investors, those who have recently become angel investors, with some of the veterans and women founders, and the difference that it makes when you have women who are on the investment side of the table, and how that directly impacts women founders and the funding they receive. So we're excited to host that on Tuesday morning. Thrilled to have the Carla Briones, who is one of Ottawa's most preeminent entrepreneurs. She is an award-winning immigrant entrepreneur working closely with so many members of our community. She is going to be hosting a DMS, Digital Main Street Immigrant Women Entrepreneur Workshop that afternoon. We are thrilled to see her and bring her expertise to bear on our community and so many of our goals. Next slide, please. On Wednesday, together with my dear friends Rima and Sophia, we will host the Global Forum on Women in Cybersecurity, that event championed by Willis College, the University of Ottawa, together with Invest Ottawa. There are so many exciting opportunities lining up, training opportunities, inspiration and actionable insight for how we build a much stronger, more robust pipeline of women cybersecurity leaders for an industry that is playing a more critical role during this pandemic than ever. On Thursday, the 4th, the Royal Ottawa Hospital will be coming forward with an event, Professional Women Parenting Through the Pandemic. How pertinent is this for so many of the parents who are working forward through so many challenges during these unprecedented times? That is very poignant for women who often shoulder so much of the childcare responsibilities while working through many of the career aspects, family aspects. It's a challenging time for everyone. And I think the Royal Ottawa is going to bring forward some incredible experts who give lessons learned, insight, share research on what some of those trends are, and most importantly, stimulate dialogue on solutions and how we can work together to support each other through those difficult times. Beginning Friday, and I think Solange has just joined us, Elevate International, an incredibly powerful organization, will, I think, host a series of 3 impactful events. I know that the Economic Empowerment event, which I'm really thrilled to partner Solange with, will be hosted likely on Friday, March 5th, and that will be focused on the role of women in tech in driving our economic recovery. And then as we move to the next slide, Katie, The preeminent Elevate International event will be hosted on International Women's Day. We will also look forward to welcoming our friends Janice McDonald and Claire Beckton, who will host that afternoon the Bounce Back Stronger Boot Camp for Main Street women leaders. They will draw on a wealth of expertise and experience from major organizations like BDC, EDC, and others across the country, working with women founders from every single background, including all equity-seeking groups. We're delighted to welcome them. And University of Ottawa hosting Better and Stronger Together, an incredible panel that really speaks to the need for women and men to come together to drive that dial, how we enlist more men, champions and allies to join in this effort. Very excited to see the powerful panel that they are assembling. And then as we move forward to the conclusion of this impactful week, Ellie Ardicani, one of the founders from our accelerator program, a She Boot participant and an Immigrant Award winner herself, founder and CEO of Meta Innovations, will be hosting a panel dedicated to women leading in AI. We're very excited to see how that comes together. That directly supports the Women in Tech stream at our Scale Up platform at Invest Ottawa. And then on Wednesday, March 10th, we are thrilled to welcome Sunshine Tenasco, founder of At Her Braids and CEO of Powwow Pitch, author of Nibby's Water Song, who will host a very special workshop for women Indigenous business owners. So you can see there are some incredible new leaders, champions, and organizations who are coming together to really address so many objectives and critical challenges that our women are facing professionally during the pandemic. I know there are other events under consideration and development by organizations like Carleton, Entrust, SCC, others across the Government of Canada. We didn't want to claim any events or set too many expectations, but we know that there are lots of ideas percolating in our community. We look forward to having you add these to the calendar, and we will certainly be there to promote and help amplify them. Next slide, please. Branding our collaboration. This is the point where I hand off to the most exciting part of the entire presentation. Katie Leclerc is going to guide you through the work that she and our corporate communications team have done to equip you, our community, with resources to help you achieve your goals during International Women's Week. I could not be more grateful. Thank you, Katie, for your incredible leadership, your inspiration, and your passion. Over to you, my friend.
Thank you, Sonia. And you know, when you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work, and everything around International Women's Week just feels like the most exciting project. To get to work on the branding has just been an amazing experience, and I'm very lucky to have an outstanding team that did a brilliant job. But just to go back over, of course, we want our branding to really be based on the entire experience that we create for stakeholders. Piece of that is, you know, the look and feel, which I'm going to speak to, but of course, it's everything around International Women's Week. I did want to reiterate, which we covered last time as well, when we were putting together the look and feel of where we wanted to take International Women's Week, we consulted our community and found some keywords that would represent International Women's Week and what we were trying to achieve, and that's strength, being bold and brave, passion and drive and action, collaboration, and success and impact. So that's really what we made the look and feel all about. Moving on to how you as collaborators can make what you put forward align with the look and feel that we've built out, as this is a community-wide initiative. We want everyone on the meeting now to put their stamp on the week. So what we've done is we've put together a branding kit. So that would have been included in, if you are a part of our Women's Initiative mailing list, you would have already got a link to our branding kit, which would have brought you to our SharePoint folder, where you can access the logos, the fonts we use, the colors. We already have templates and graphics built out for you. So it's literally as easy as dropping your own logo in, replacing our last year's keynote speaker with your keynote speaker, or with the face of an activity or initiative you're putting forward. So it really makes it simple and easy for everybody to right away drop whatever assets into the design that we've developed, and just turn that out and spread it all over social media, through your email, newsletters, etc. If not, we already have graphics that we've built out as well. So your life can even get easier that way, where you're just copying and pasting and sharing straight out of that document. So we've shared that link, but I'll be sharing it again with everybody on this call. And again, through our newsletter, we'll keep consistently passing that out so everyone can have access. Building on what I had previously covered with templates, here's a great example of what the templates look like. It's as simple as clicking on the download button. Again, you can even open up Canva files. So if you use Canva at your organization, it will open you up straight to a Canva file. You can replace event title with your event title. Again, keynote speaker, it's all there for you. So we've made it really as easy as possible. And then, in addition to the brand kit, we have a separate document, which is our social media kit. So the social media kit will include everything from key messages, key campaigns, and copy and paste content for your social platforms. There as well, you'll be able to download the general graphics like you see on the screen here. So you'll be able to download those general graphics, copy and paste that content, and then pump it out over whatever channel it is you use and prefer to use. We've already got our hashtags plugged and played, so hopefully everyone will be using those and amplifying our message across social media. That's really what we're looking for. But again, we're trying to make it as simple and easy as possible. Not only will this, after this meeting, I'll be following up again with an email newsletter style communication, where I'll be linking out to this document too, but this document will actually be made available on the website as well. So we want as many ambassadors from our region and beyond as possible. One of the ways that we're making sure that we make that process as seamless as possible is we're making it really as simple as going to www.investottawa.ca/IWW. You can go there and you'll be able to scroll down and see those files. Here's an example of kind of what we've put together. We've made some of the content, individual to the person. So if you're really a champion of International Women's Week and you're not promoting in association with any organization, we've got copy for you. If you're an organization and you're managing your social media platforms, we also have copy for you. So just be conscious of the titles there. And then again, copy, paste, share. For this year, for our social media campaign, it really is building on the momentum that we had from last year. So I call it the three-pronged campaign. I don't know if that's a real technical term by any means, but that's how I like to think of it. And so that's the approach that hopefully the entire community will take. That includes informative content, really engaging content, and then promotional content. To dive a little bit further into that, so we thought it was really important to focus back, and of course, all of us have been, digesting, I'm sure, in the media, news that has come out around the realities of women, particularly, intersectionality is considered as well. Just what it means right now for many women, for all women really, across the globe, and then particularly in Canada too. So we wanted to share some content around, from a numbers perspective, that looks like. A great example is the, portion of investment dollars going to female-funded companies. That was at 2.9%, still horribly low percentage that I'm sure everyone is passionate about here on the call, but that's actually, we've seen that percentage drop to 2.3%. So we just want to make sure that a portion of the campaign and the messaging that we put out for International Women's Week is also about providing information so that we do know what the reality and status of women is, and that we can set that tone for what we're really trying to be, which is action-oriented this International Women's Week. Beyond that, so for the engaging piece of the content, people on the call will recognize their faces, but as everyone who's been involved with us for the last 3 years in International Women's Week, what we've really tried to do is make it about women and the real women in our ecosystem. So building on that, we did have our Featured Leaders campaign last year, and we're bringing that back this year. That's who you see here on the screen in the background of our website, and who you'll see celebrated all over social media in the month to come. So speaking back to our Featured Leaders campaign, We have another exciting 5 brilliant women who we've engaged and who are really the faces of International Women's Week this year. Not only will they be facilitating workshops, participating in our events, being keynote speakers or speakers, they'll be participating in a really exciting new podcast series initiative. It's not a new podcast, but it's a new series. So Naomi Halley runs Power of Why. I'm sure a number of people on here listen and tune in. I know I do, and I'm a pretty big fan. So I'm very excited about this collaborative effort that we've put in place here for International Women's Week. So for example, you'll get to hear really wonderful interviews with each one of the 5 women who have become our featured leaders. They'll be speaking with her about their power of why. And they're going to be showcased all over our social media, celebrating all that they've achieved and all that they're doing to impact change. Now I'll hand over the mic to Sonia to talk about our media strategy.
Excellent. I can't thank you enough, Katie. This is just so impactful to see so many women leaders featured, not just in our campaign that we're bringing to bear, but there are so many women leaders that underpin this entire week. Women leaders who hire other women, give them opportunity, mentor them, help them to move forward. It's just almost overwhelming to me, really. And so, of course, channeling all of this passion into something that raises the visibility of what we are doing here together as an Ottawa community, serving as an example and demonstrating leadership across the country and around the world to drive and to attract more collaborators to join us. We're very, very excited to see and to be working with Jen Stewart and her team on the media strategy for International Women's Week. The incredible Noontime series I described, where she's bringing together some of those leading voices of women in media and showcasing their journey and all of their lessons learned. That is going to be a big platform on which we build to raise the visibility of what we are doing here in Ottawa and bringing our stories, our featured leaders, and all of the commitment that you are bringing to bear with us to a regional, national, and global media audience. So stay tuned. There, she is the best in the business, and we are very, very excited to really take that next big step and continue to raise the visibility to help drive change, not just here in our region, but around the world. And I think we might now be on the open Q&A section of our broadcast today. We recognize that was a lot of information. Thankfully, our team has created that webpage, and you see it here. It includes our online calendar. For those of you who joined us last year and uploaded events, it's a very similar process. We've tried to keep this as simple as possible to respect and really help maximize your productivity and time. And so do let us know, Katie or I, if you have any challenges along the way, but it is there to be as turnkey as possible. And events take probably, Katie, what, maybe a day to populate, just to make sure with our team working that back end, making sure everything appears correctly. But we're very excited to see that calendar get populated starting today.
Yes, exactly. It shouldn't take more than a day, and I have visibility in that backend. So if you have any concerns or have had any issues uploading your images or populating your event from the web form submission, you can just reach out to me directly, and I'd be happy to address that right away.
We should say there's a bilingual web page coming.
Yeah.
We are in the process of translating, so we certainly want to ensure our entire community has the opportunity to participate and benefit. And so stay tuned. We will share an update through our registration list. If you haven't registered for our mailing list yet for International Women's Week and related initiatives, we'll pop that into the chat so that everyone has an opportunity to stay fully apprised. But we will be bringing that information forward on this webpage and through our social media as well. Just going to take a peek here at the chat. Really, really grateful to see so many people engaged, and this really is a community-driven initiative. This is not an Invest Ottawa initiative. We're really privileged to be partnering with all of you and so many others, and we can't wait. We know it will be a very different week, but it will be a powerful week, and it will be an inspirational week for everyone in our community.
Yeah, and I did want to mention from just a management perspective in terms of when you do upload and link out to our branding kit or our social media kit, we do use Microsoft 365. So if you don't have an Outlook account and you are trying to access those those assets, you may just have to create a temporary account, Outlook account so you can log in, but that doesn't mean you have to build a whole new email address or anything like that. I have had some feedback and some questions about that. If you create the account, and then you should be able to access all the assets that way, and it shouldn't be any additional burden. It's just a little bit of an additional login step.
Excellent. All of those technical details, they are not my forte, so you definitely want to go to Katie for those.
Or Jess. Jess is very good, but you can direct them to me.
If you have ideas about events, and certainly we're getting a beautiful flow of, you know, ideas and opportunities, please reach out to us. We're always happy to chat. But again, we empower you. We are not here to guide or be prescriptive. We wanted to just create some resources that would give everyone a platform that they could connect into and make it as simple and effective for you as possible. We will be promoting and amplifying all of the events here at Invest Ottawa through International Women's Week. And stay tuned, because there is going to be some amazing speakers, opportunities, and actionable insight in the weeks to come. That's what I'll say. Any other questions? I see some wonderful comments rolling through. This is great. The Slack channel. Katie, have we gotten, I know that you were investigating whether or not the team would have used a Slack channel, and I don't know if we have gotten a firm decision on that just yet. Any insight you'd like to share?
Yes, so I didn't share that in this meeting, but that will be going out. Thank you to whoever raised it. I actually don't have visibility in the chat right now, so I appreciate it. So we will be releasing the login for our Slack channel, so that will make sharing and collaborating even that much easier. So that's for our next communication, which will also include the social media kit. So you can expect that within the next 48 hours. And then we invite everyone, all of our collaborators, to join that Slack channel. I know it's always that debate between introducing another channel, but we really feel like this is the most effective way to communicate and to get access to information as quickly as possible. And I'll make sure all of the files as well, and the directives in terms of how to get your event up on our calendar, how to amplify through social media using our social kit and the branding kit, they'll all be populated there too.
Thank you so much, Katie. That's excellent. All right, I think we are at 10:30, so very efficient we are. This has been recorded, of course, so you can share it broadly with others who might be seeking information on International Women's Week or looking to connect with us. I will do one final call for any questions that our assembly of participants might have. I don't see any coming forward. Katie and Jess, thank you for all of your leadership and a brilliant job. So proud and so honored to be collaborating with you, and to everyone who has joined us, and so many champions and collaborators across our community. Our heartfelt thanks. We can't wait to achieve impact together with you.
Thank you all.
Thank you for joining us today. Bye for now. Stay safe, stay healthy. Yay.